You know those days where you work all day and at the end of the day you're just like, what the heck did I accomplish? Well, that's been Molly and I's entire week this week, and it's been absolutely horrible. Every time we start doing something, something else gets in the way or something pulls us away, and we have to go do it. And we've been non-stop tackling small little gremlins all week, and I'm over it. I'm sick and tired of it. So today, my only goal is to get as much of this stuff out of the way so that we can continue working on things that matter, like finishing up this cabin. All we need to do to finish up closing this cabin in is put these last few boards on here, as well as in the gables on both ends, but there's a lot of stuff preventing us from doing that, and so we're gonna first hop on those things and get them knocked out so that we can get back to working on this. Also this week, Owen has decided that he is not interested in sleeping at all during the night anymore. We think he's got some stomach pains going on through the night, and we haven't got it resolved yet, so that's just really been adding a whole lot of fun to it. First hurdle is we have a major interval that just came up for the Kubota tractor, and we need to do a whole bunch of service on it. So we're gonna take this thing over to my dad's house where he's got a nice covered area and get all that stuff done. Wow, I wrote that exactly upside down.
Perfect.
I'm not going into this stinky tractor.
Stinky tractor! I need you to bring me paper towels and my paper towel girl. They're in your car.
I don't have a car.
Oh, that ain't a 22. That's bigger than a 22.
I don't have a car.
Bigger than a 22?
Yeah.
That ain't gonna be good. A lot bigger or a little bigger?
Paper towels.
Steps to in the house.
What are you guys doing?
Putting all that fluid we drained out, we're putting some new fluid back in there.
Why is everything here?
See what?
Why is everything here?
Why is it?
Kubota.
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 Well, the trailer and the tractor made it back home after a $420 oil and filter change and various little things that we needed to do to the tractor. That hurt bad. I'm laughing because this is just the way that this week has been going, but we also found out that our trailer that's only 4 years old is completely rotten. Like the entire deck is gone, and it's a miracle that we got the tractor home. Look at this junk. This is what EPA oversight in wood treatment results in. Treated lumber that lasts less than 4 years. And not just like, you know, starts getting worn out, literally turns to dust. Yeah, this is right where the tractor rolls up onto the trailer. And there's also this entire board here that's just gone. It didn't look that bad when we pulled the trailer on. Looked way worse when we got it off. As bad as everything's been going this week, we might have a change in tides because somehow or another, every single light on this trailer is working right now, which is unheard of. I almost just immediately ruined that by not chalking up the wheels before removing the trailer from the hitch, and it's currently on a hill, which would have meant that the trailer would have gone straight into the back of my truck. Good save. Look at this, I can't make this up. Both wheels just landed in a hole. And this thing is... Oh my gosh, this truck is stuck in this tiny little hole. Now I haven't put it in 4-wheel drive. I know it'll come right out, but this is just funny. The reason I need to pull this trailer out is because Molly and I are actually going on a bit of a trip, believe it or not. We rarely do those things anymore. But for our 11-year anniversary together, 4 years of marriage, I think. Don't kill me, Molly, if I'm wrong. This is going to get me in trouble. But I'm taking Molly to our favorite place, and we're going to take the camper so that we can save a whole bunch of money when we go there as well. But this thing has been sitting over there by the container for a very long time now, hadn't moved. Weeds are growing all around it, and I just need to do a good safety check over it, as well as set up a new battery system for it, because the last time we used it, we had some issues in the whole power department, which I'll talk to you about later. But let's give this thing a quick washing and get inside and get it cleaned up. It's no showroom quality cleaning, but we'll at least look half presentable in the campground. While we're in a fixing mood, let's fix something that has been here since we moved in 3 years ago. And that is that this main faucet we use all the time just sprays water everywhere. You know, something that takes maybe 10 minutes to fix and 20 cents worth of parts, but we're doing it today. First, we need to go turn off the water. Pro tip for you, before you turn the water off to your house, you better make sure that your wife isn't washing clothes or something, because she'll get very angry. Let's find out. Hey. I'm about to turn the water off to the house. Any reason I can't? Are you washing clothes?
Washing the bed, dog bed.
Well, that might have to wait for another day, or maybe we'll get to it later today. While we let the camper dry off, we're gonna tackle this monstrosity of a mess where the camper was parked and hasn't been maintained in Lord knows how long. Let's get that done. Now that area looks great, but this area behind me still has a whole bunch of stuff in it that only the tractor can fix. But it's like, where do you stop? Once you get started, it's hard to quit. So I guess let's get the tractor and keep going. It's always so nice to run a piece of equipment or your car after just a fresh oil change, and this thing's had all the stuff done to it. So she should be ready for some work. While we're at it, let's grind this stump that I've been putting off for so long too. This area behind me doesn't look that bad on camera, but it has been a nuisance for years now, and we're gonna take the, I don't know, 30 minutes right now. We're gonna get it nice and smooth and done. Y'all, I got this thing looking dang good. I am happy about that. That is better than it has ever been. I don't know if you remember, if you have been watching the channel for a while, but there used to be some gigantic pine trees that were right there that weren't in the best condition, and we were afraid of them hitting the house, so we cut them down right when we moved in. But the stumps have always been a bear there. They're gigantic, and there's like 5 of them all right together. So I managed to get a lot of that ground down, and it smoothed out really well. So that feels good to check that off. I'm sure that the camper is ready for us to get back to it, so let's head over there. All right, let's head inside the camper. I got it mostly cleaned out and show you guys what we're dealing with here. If you haven't seen the series of this camper, I recommend checking it out. It was a pretty cool build. But we got a few problems that we've noticed after using this thing that we need to fix. First one is that this mesh is on Velcro, and surprisingly it's stuck on there right now, but when we were last using it, occasionally it would just like the glue would stop working and it would just fall off. Add some staples in here to keep that thing from doing that whole mess. That's a small issue compared to this hodgepodge going on down here, which is our electrical and AC setup. Last time we went camping, the AC was drawing so much power that it was tripping our power strip, it was tripping breakers at the campground. That was a huge issue that we have to fix because we can't afford to have another trip where the only thing we can use is the AC, and every time we have to use anything else, we have to turn it off. It was pretty miserable. Also, if you missed this series, this bed frame that we built is adjustable, height adjustable up and down, but it also should be able to come out really easily, so I'm just gonna take it out so it's out of our way. Also, don't let me forget to fix this vent down here. There's a vent at the bottom of this trailer, which is great for when you're parked, or when this thing's parked not being used. Not great when you're trying to cool this thing off because all the cold air goes down and out. I almost forgot about this big issue too, but these pipes that we have going down through the floor for the AC, they kept ripping off of this tape because it had some like cheap, not great tape. We're gonna upgrade the tape. Hopefully that holds this time. That ain't going nowhere. Dang, I almost forgot about this. This would have been no fun either. This thing has a drain plug, and I remember now, also one of the issues we had was that in the middle of the night, like at midnight, this thing stopped running because it filled up with water. So I need to also put me a little hose on there and put it through the floor. All right, I found this old piece of hose. Let's see if it will fit and work for this. Let's see. Come on, come on. Oh yeah, it's like a glove. That's what I'm talking about. Made that little cradle so this thing doesn't roll around in here. Now we gotta crawl back there and see where we can drill a hole through. Just like that. That ought to work. This power plug right here brings 120 volts into the camper, but only 20 amps. And this AC uses all of 15 amps, which like I said, means that we're overheating cords and we're a tripping breaker. But I got a plan. It involves a Blue Eddy power station that we're going to be charging with 120 volts. And then we're going to be using it to handle all of the intensive amperage that this AC pulls out, because it can actually run it by itself, which is awesome, because that means that if we're ever not at a campground with power, or we're just like in a parking lot and we're going to stay overnight or something, we can actually run the AC off of this power station. So let me go grab that, and it should be as simple as setting it in place, plugging some stuff in, and being done, which I like. Big shout out to Blue Eddy for making this anniversary trip possible, because Lord knows Molly and I would not make another trip without that AC running throughout the night. It would be a nightmare. So thank you, Blue Eddy, for sponsoring this week's video and providing us with their AC 200L power station, which, let me tell you, this thing's bad to the bone. It's got a 30 amp socket right there. So if you do have an RV with a 30 amp plug, you can just plug your RV straight into this thing, which is real impressive. In fact, this has more output than my gas generator, which is crazy. Let's get this slid into place. And they also sent their B3000K expansion battery. It's heavy, but it means that we're going to be able to run this AC without having to be connected to power all the time, which is awesome. I gotta figure out the best way to go about doing this though. I think I've got like the perfect setup actually now. So let's try it out, make sure it works before we settle with this configuration. However, I will tell you, we got our fridge over there, AC here obviously, and then I had to turn this expansion battery around to make it work with this whole setup. But we were able to put this battery on top, which saves space. They're all strapped down nice and neat. Moment of truth, let's turn it on. And we got lights, that's a good sign. This thing just beeped. Okay, our fridge is on. The real question is will it run all this and the AC at the same time? That's the big question. That is what I'm talking about. That is a big win in my book. That was so simple to set up, and now, in theory, we should be good to go. For those of you that care, here is a simple overview of what we have going on. Back there, we have basically an extension cord that comes through the floor, which allows us to plug the whole camper into 120 volt outlet. And we then run from that extension cord into this guy to charge it. So basically, our power comes into the trailer and goes into this to charge it. And then we connect right here to our expansion battery. And then we plug in our AC to the front, as well as this cord, which goes around and up to this power strip, which is what our lights plug into. And basically we use this power strip as our light switch. And then we have this cord that goes over to our fridge, and that's it. Really simple setup. We still have plenty of USB ports and stuff like that to charge during the night when we flip the light switch off, and we can put appliances or other little gizmos and gadgets up here to charge as well. All right, here's some rapid fire facts about the Blue Eddy AC200L. You have a total of 11 ports, including a NEMA 30 amp plug over here, some AC outlets here, USB-C and A there, as well as 12 volt outputs here. My favorite part is that it charges in just an hour and a half when you plug it into the wall. You also have the ability to charge this thing with solar, as well as your car's alternator if you don't have access to an AC outlet. If you need more battery life, you can expand this thing up to 7.6 kilowatt hours. If you are interested in checking out Blue Eddy's products, you can use the code right here on the screen to get 5% off any of their products using the link in the description below of this video. Thanks Blue Eddy for sponsoring this video, helping make this trip possible. Let's get back into it. Folks, it's officially summer and I'm getting fried out here, so it's time to pull out the old sun shirt and the good old cowboy hat. I'm sure I'm forgetting something and I'll remember it whenever I'm editing this video, but I think I checked all the boxes of things we needed to do. So I'm gonna close this thing back up and we're gonna get back to work on some other stuff. Next up, we're gonna get all the scrap metal that's hanging around the container over there, put it in the back of the truck and get rid of it. This is gonna make Molly very happy. I had so much more than I expected, but it's all about to go. Good thing about living in the country is that there's usually people all over the place willing to take your scrap metal for free or even come and get it. So this should be pretty easy to get rid of. I just got back. Let's get Molly's reaction. She's coming out here. Thank you for filling my water bottle up, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Did you notice anything at all gone?
And there, that?
All the scrap metal. All your scrap metal everywhere is gone.
Thanks.
Do I deserve an icy for that?
Yeah. Do you want icy or do you want a Wawa milkshake?
Ooh, definitely
Or
an icy, because I would absolutely puke if I drink a milkshake right now.
Yeah, good point.
That's another thing I need to do, huh?
That would be so nice.
To have a gate. Why don't you just go take a little peek ski on the other side of that there container?
Nice. I'm sure the neighbors will like us for that.
Is this your favorite video I've ever filmed?
Just cleaning up
Yeah,
our honeydew list.
the honeydew list since we moved in.
Yeah. What'd you do with all that metal?
Where do you think? I took it to the scrap metal dude
Did you really? When did you leave?
2 minutes ago. Where you been?
You did?
Yeah.
Did you hit the pole?
No, I didn't hit the pole.
Why is it black?
I don't know why the pole is black. I didn't hit it. Now it's time for the main event. We got to get this pole barn cleaned up because it's an absolute disaster zone. Well, I've made a ton of progress. You can see I don't have any of this stuff on this side of the barn anymore. And I've got all the implements out of the barn, and I've got trash piles and other keep piles and things sort of separated to start moving them, you know, where they need to go. I also have all of this lumber stacked up nice and neat. I've got all the implements out there, and not ideal, but I'm starting to get the feel for this place again, and when we get it fully cleaned up, we'll find more appropriate places to put things. So I've got to head inside and make some belts tonight, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Did you hear that? Somebody just bought something. Let's see who did it. Who done did it? Troy from Washington bought himself a Proven Hand settler belt. Appreciate you, man. We had so much support from the last video, and at some point in this video I wanted to mention it, so I might as well now. Thank you guys so much for the positive reaction to the last video. I wasn't sure how y'all might take that video in general, and I just thought about not posting at all, but you know, life is life and things happen, and I kind of wanted to explain. You know, I felt the need to explain what was going on, and y'all just had nothing but love and support, and so many of you guys went over to Proven Hand's website and checked it out, and a bunch of you bought stuff as well, and Ma and I, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it. Let's get back to it. All right, we're back out here. Let's get the rest of this pole barn cleaned up. box right here contains the belts that I need to get the sawmill back up and running. I had a couple problems, a couple things broke, then got it all back together, and then broke the belts. Well, I shredded the belts, they're still kind of on there. But we need to get them replaced before we can continue milling safely. Go. That right there is a big transformation. I didn't take everything out of here because some things need to stay in here, but we got all the junk out of here, all the stuff that doesn't need to be in here out of here, which means it's going to make it a whole lot more appealing to get started working back here on the shop, and hopefully a project with Pops in the near future, using this space to build a really cool project. So let's head on over to the cabin and see what needs to be done over there. We do have a bit of a mess actually going on inside the cabin, and we have a bit bigger of a mess going on around the cabin, just little scraps and pieces. So I'm gonna get all of it cleaned up. Here's load number 1, load number 2, load number 3, load number 4. Think this might be the last load. Alright folks, we got a pretty sweet setup. I got everything sweeped out, all the trash taken out of here. I got all my tools organized. I brought out the Bluetti, and I have the air compressor set up, and it's working phenomenally, which is great because we no longer have to figure out some elaborate way to use the air compressor out here, which what I was having to do was basically empty the tank before starting a generator to use it before, because it couldn't handle the startup amps when this compressor already had pressure built up. It would only let me start it if it was completely out of air. So every time it got too low for the nail gun, I would have to stop, empty the tank, and then start it again and let it fill all the way back up before using it again. That's pretty awesome that little bitty Bluetti AC200L can handle that much when my gas generator couldn't. That's pretty amazing that this technology has come this far. This is kind of a wild but very productive video this week. I got so much stuff done, and not one of these in particular was keeping me from doing stuff, but all of them together, man, it added up, and it was just a lot of friction to get started on doing stuff. So I'm very happy to get this much done this week. And if you guys enjoyed this video, want to see more videos like this one, leave a comment down below, and I'm pretty sure I can make plenty of other videos of just doing all the maintenance and things that I need to do here around the property. But thanks Bluetti for sponsoring this week's video, and thank you guys for watching and sticking around with us, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.